What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Imagineer, this on Orlando Parks Insider. I'm your host, Anthony, and before we jump into today's video, we would ask if you please like and comment down below, and be sure to hit us with a subscribe if you already have not. So anywho, let's jump right into it. On our first edition of Imagineer This, we looked at the changes of which we would implement into Walt Disney World's Splash Mountain. And in today's episode, we are going to switch gears, no pun intended there, and head over to Universal Studios Florida. Please keep in mind, we call this Imagineer This for a reason and not Universal Creative This. Today we're going to highlight one of the worst attractions Universal Creative has ever put out on the field. Very harsh, I know, but it's very true. If you hate screen rides at Universal, this is like the epitome of your fears. This is the ride where you're like, yeah, nope, I'm done. Send me back to Disney. Like, if you thought Disney had a bad track record of reimagining rides, then just look at Universal's history and your mind will be blown. Today's video, as you could probably tell from the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be focusing on the terrible and the atrocious, and certainly not the furious, Fast and Furious Supercharged. So to break down the history of this atrocious attraction, Fast and Furious Supercharged opens to the public on April 23rd of 2018 and replaced not one, but two classic Universal attractions while they were at it. Imagine closing down not one, but two classic Universal attractions to make way for this piece of The attractions that were replaced were Disaster, a major motion picture ride starring you, and Beetlejuice's Rock and Roll Graveyard Review. And to add more salt to wound to Universal Creative, Disaster literally got a refurb like 10 years ago. They put Christopher Walken in a freaking pre-show. Now tell me, how in the hell do you ruin something like that? Well, I mean, they answered my question very thoroughly by making this an attraction in the first place. But going back even further, Fast and Furious Supercharged debuted on June 25th of 2015 as the finale of the Studio Tram Tour at Universal Studios Hollywood. So basically what they did was they took the finale of the studio tour and basically made it an entire freaking attraction in Universal Studios Florida. Amazing, ain't it? And if you ask me, this isn't even a great finale for the freaking studio tour. Imagine it just being its own attraction in the first place. And here's the real thing that throws me off. Skull Island Reign of Kong uses the exact same ride technology and is actually a decent ride, but meanwhile over here they somehow found a way to make the ride horse. Alright, I promise you, I'm done with the swear words now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little ride through of the attraction, and we're going to show everyone here who has not been on the ride what it's like. And if you have been on the attraction, feel free to skip because I wouldn't want to put you through this much misery as it is already. Before we're going to have to mention that none of this footage belongs to me. This belongs to Theme Park Groupie's YouTube page. I am going to put a link for the video and the channel down below so you can check out all their videos. Highly recommend them. Before we jump into the video, there's like 2 pre-shows in this thing. I'm not even going to bother to show you it. It just, I don't even know. Like, I thought it was like a rule that you at least had to have a good ride in order to have 2 pre-shows in it. Like, look at Flight of Passage over in Animal Kingdom. So yeah, no, first instance, you're about to get on the ride, and you see like this freaking party bus pull up, and damn. At first, you're like, oh, this is so sick.
My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service, and as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge. There's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. An international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride. Safety in your home. Turn off your cell phones and put away your cameras, because one flash or ringtone could give us away. Remember, get travel.
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And what other party?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Damn.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Never mind the whole. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off shop. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Sure traced us. Ops can't hold it forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real. All warmed up. Right, let's go.
No flash photography and no cell phones. And keep very quiet.
Speak now, or you all get fried!
This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Open it up. Letty, open up.
Like that and witness whoever you are, you lucky to be riding with this crew. They got your back. Good thing.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys get good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
The party is here. The party.
Alright, after we just experienced that disaster of an attraction, get it? Disaster? Because I replaced it. Now basically what I'm going to do is going to take a few options of how this attraction could be reimagined and actually made into an amazing attraction. So I've come up with 4 ride plans overall. I see 2 of them being decently realistic and 2 of them sort of being out of the realm. So we're going to go with the 2 that are out of the realm at the moment. So the first one would be using the SWAT car technology used at Test Track or Radiator Springs racers within the Disney parks. This would be very ideal because it is a car for the ride vehicle. And the great thing about this is you could still use some classic Universal storytelling. You could still use physical sets, and you can still use screen-based effects at the same part. You can pretty much tell the same storyline, but you can make it much more of an enjoyable attraction, and you can also add some intense moments to it, as though Test Track and Radiator Springs Racers does as it is already. Plus, if you have not noticed, I'm going to show you guys a side-by-side of the show buildings. So basically here on the left is the Revenge of the Mummy show building, which is absolutely ginormous. You can see it from almost anywhere in the park. And basically this on the right is the show building that Fast and Furious Supercharged takes up, which basically dwarfs it within a length standpoint, which is pretty big as well, and it looks like it could probably fit any type of attraction into it. So yeah, the test track slot car technology would be absolutely perfect for this attraction, but I really can't see them doing it. I don't know if Universal Creative would be able to make or replicate the slot car technology that Disney does use here. And one of the biggest issues of that technology is the ride system being very unreliable, as Test Track, Radiator Springs Racers, and certain rides like Dinosaur and Indiana Jones that do utilize that slot car technology are very, very unreliable at times. The next type of attraction that I can see them doing, which I would have personally preferred because I think it would have been amazing, would be to make a launched indoor roller coaster going through San Francisco or whatever area that you would want it to be, sort of like Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now let me tell you, son, if you were to get into like a super stretched like Dodge Charger and just absolutely get rocketed in through, you know, downtown San Fran, and you kind of do the same elements that you're doing sort of with Supercharged as it is already, holy crap, throw in a nice soundtrack into it, I think it would be an amazing attraction. But another issue that persists with that is usually launched coasters tend to have shorter durations because that's just sort of the nature of them. And the fact of Fast and Furious Supercharged being a very storytelling attraction, a launched roller coaster may not fit that narrative unless you want to make it something along the lines of Escape from Gringotts, or sort of be the rival of what Disney is making right now with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. Now we're going to go on to the two options that I see that would be very realistic, but one of them is going to be a lot more realistic than the other, and I'm going to tell you why. And the great thing about these attraction ride systems is that it utilizes technology that can easily go from a screen-based portion of an attraction to practical and real effects. So the one that is a little bit unrealistic would be using the same technology utilized at The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and Transformers The Ride. Very obviously, Transformers The Ride is literally a stone's throw away from Fast and Furious Supercharged as it is at the moment. But I think it would be perfect because the ideal Fast and Furious ride that I have in mind uses a lot of physical and practical effects that would be really cool. You know, going through stuff like parking garages, flying down streets, but knowing Universal and to make ride length a little bit longer, you know, mix in visual effects and different stuff that they do already have implemented into the attraction, and for stuff that you can't use on a physical set, you put it into a visual on a giant screen. It's almost like a marriage made in heaven. And if it weren't for Transformers, then I really could have seen Universal doing this if Transformers wasn't a thing. Too bad they didn't come up with this idea like 10 years earlier, or else like Transformers The Ride probably could have been Fast and Furious Supercharged with that same technology. And finally, the number one option that I would see being an amazing potential reimagining for this attraction would be to utilize the KUKA arm technology being utilized at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. KUKA and Universal have an exclusive deal that only Universal can use their KUKA arm technologies for their patented ride systems that they've been using at the 3 Forbidden Journey rides that they have around the world, and the one that is coming to Universal Beijing currently. And one of the most amazing aspects of this ride system is that it wasn't even really used first at Harry Potter. If you go on the studio tour, they have the scene where they have the cars mounted onto the KUKA arms. And basically what you can do is you can put Dodge Challengers or Dodge Chargers on top of a KUKA arm, and you could basically just be going through a physical set, and it would be insane. You can have the dome effects that we use at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. I don't know if it would be a continuous boarding Omnimover style system that we use with Harry Potter and Forbidden Journey, or it would sort of be just a, get to the station, stop, unload, load, go, which it would be good as long as it does have a high capacity. But yes, it would be great because Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is basically known for mixing screen effects and practical effects almost seamlessly. And it's basically the gold standard of attraction types like that. And if you ask anyone, it's probably the best screen-based ride Universal's ever made because it's the one that literally perfects the technology. Imagine like just going through a physical set and then all of a sudden you get like hit by like some sort of explosion, and then you kind of have like that transition like on Forbidden Journey with the Whomping Willow where you go right into like a screen effect. A little bit disorienting for those who do tend to have motion sickness, but I think it would be insane. And plus it would add that option that to go to both parks to experience both KUKA technology attractions. Sort of how we have Spider-Man and Transformers, same ride technologies, just which one is better. Same reason why we go to both parks. For intense coasters, over at Islands, you have the Hulk and Hagrid's, while over here you have Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit and Revenge of the Mummy. And even with the Harry Potter theming itself, you have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley. Universal sort of has this blueprint that they want to implement, different experiences oriented around the same theme in both parks. So I think this would be amazing because now you can advertise it as, which, KUKA-based attraction do you like better? So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the Fast and Furious film franchise. Otherwise, I'd be able to make a storyboard of how I would implement this attraction, but fortunately, I really can't dive deep into that franchise. I'm sure that some that are obsessed with the Fast and Furious franchise, or at least watched every single movie, unlike myself, can definitely get a better understanding of it and how to utilize it. One of the great things is it does have an all-star cast, so there's a lot of things that you can throw into it, you know, stuff with The Rock, Ludacris, like Vin Diesel, like come on. That's a star-studded lineup right there of actors that you can use for a theme park attraction, and then they throw what we have right now out into the field. It's just a disgrace. Well, that's going to wrap things up for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below, and also follow our Instagram at Orlando Parks Insider. Thank you so much again for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys next time here at Orlando Parks Insider.